Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking a Coca-Bean herbal cigarette for the first time. In specific today, I'm going to be smoking and giving a review to the smoke-free Menthol Coca-Bean herbal cigarettes / herbal sticks, as they call it on the pack right here. And as a whole, I am looking forward to trying this pack of cigarettes a little bit more so than not, as I am quite curious to find out just how good or just how bad a Coca-Bean herbal cigarette will actually be. And I'm curious to find out if these are going to be a decent option if you're wanting to smoke, but you're wanting to quit tobacco and nicotine. Will these be a good option? Will they be a bad option? Will these actually be good to me as a cigarette smoker? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Let me tell y'all what. I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and, well, go over the packaging of this pack a little bit more so than not. Then after that, I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and get the cellophane all off, go ahead and get this pack of cigarettes all opened up, go ahead and take a look at the cigarettes inside this pack, see what they look like, what they feel like, what the quality of them is like, and just see what they smell like as well, see if they really do smell like Coca-Bean. Then after that, I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and head outside, get one of these cigarettes all lit up, and actually find out just how good or just how bad a Coca-Bean herbal cigarette actually is for the first time. But as said, first off, we've got to go over the packaging, which I'm really not a particularly big fan of, in all honesty. We can see we get a white background up here with a sort of like bright green background sort of down here with like a lot of orange as well going on, and then more white down here. Just says smoke-free Coca-Bean sticks right there, and smoke-free as a name is trademarked apparently, which I think is interesting, I will readily acknowledge, but that's just a pretty basic sort of logo and font for the brand name and whatnot. Then separating this portion of the packaging from the rest of the portion of the packaging, we have this orange line right here, which is, I wouldn't have to say a super bright orange by any means, but it definitely is brighter than not, I will readily acknowledge. And then under that, we move to that green background where we have a white strip right here that's like a V right there. It just has SF right there for smoke-free, and there's like orange kind of around the edge of the white as well. Right here, it just says 100% nicotine-free. Over here, it just says 100% tobacco free, and then under all of this it just says menthol, 20 sticks right there, and they're specifically saying sticks, not cigarettes, because they might be afraid of getting regulated if they say cigarettes or something like that kind of thing, or maybe giving people the wrong impression of what they are. Then under this green background there is another little bit of an orange line, and then it just says SF, 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 smoke-free, 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 over and over and over again, just in that orange text that we saw right here once again. Overall, I don't like this packaging, I'll be frank with y'all. It really is pretty ugly. This packaging really is quite ugly in my personal opinion. I don't think it looks good. This packaging does not make me want to buy this pack at all. It doesn't even look like a pack of medicine or something like that kind of thing. It doesn't even look like a pack of soap or a bar of soap. I don't know what this looks like. It doesn't look good. That's what it doesn't look like. It certainly doesn't look good. I don't like this packaging. I think the colors they used are hideous on it. I mean, like, hey, I don't mind green packaging. I don't mind orange packaging on their own. But green and orange? No, thank you. This packaging sucks. I don't like it. And I'll be frank with you, I'm not a fan of this packaging. They probably purposefully designed it to be ugly, in all honesty, to be unattractive. After all, their whole thing is smoke-free, stop smoking and everything like that. So of course they're not going to create a piece of packaging that looks really cool and whatnot, unlike some other herbal cigarettes, because that might still encourage people to smoke or something like that kind of thing. I can see that argument. Either way though, this packaging, ugly as hell in my personal opinion, and I do not like it. Moving on from the front of the packaging though, which we can see does wrap around just a little bit to the side over here, but does not wrap all the way around the packaging, because if we go to the back, we can see it just pretty much just gets cut off. At the top right here in red, it just says read before use, and then we just get an orange line right there with sort of like green areas in the side, and then the SF right there. So I guess this technically does wrap around, which is nice, I do suppose. But let's go ahead and read over all of this real quick, and it just looks like informational stuff. Just says, please do not compare smoke-free Coca-Bean sticks to your everyday regular tobacco brand cigarettes. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing today now, isn't it? After that, it just says, smoke-free is a tobacco substitute for people who are trying to quit smoking and an alternative to electronic cigarettes, patch, pill, and gum products. It's 100% tobacco and nicotine-free. Please give smoke-free a chance to work for you. Do you remember your first cigarette? It tasted horrible. No, it didn't. It tasted fantastic. That's completely wrong. What are they talking about? But you kept smoking until your taste buds adjusted. That same cigarette was so horrible then, somehow became enjoyable. The aroma will be a little different than what you're accustomed to. It is normal for smoke-free ash to burn fast. Remember that this is not a tobacco product. So they're basically just saying, our product tastes bad. That's basically what they're just saying. They're literally saying on the back of this pack that their product tastes bad and that it takes time to get used to. But they're literally just saying that this product tastes bad. The first cigarette I smoked tasted fantastic. It did not taste bad. What are they on about? What are they on about? I cannot believe this. And then they're also just saying that it's normal for it to burn fast. Remember that it's not a tobacco product. So they're basically just saying, we're not even making something that smokes like a cigarette. Those are two really bad signs right there. They're saying it's not going to taste good and it doesn't smoke like a cigarette. Well, then why is this being marketed as a cigarette alternative if it doesn't smoke like a cigarette? Or if it doesn't taste good? Because if you want people to start smoking your herbal cigarettes, you gotta make it taste good kind of thing. Why would somebody switch from normal cigarettes to herbal cigarettes if it ain't gonna taste good and smoke like a normal cigarette kind of thing? Hey, maybe that's just me, I'm not sure. But under that, it just says FDA-approved ingredients, coca bean, shell, guar gum, cellulose fiber, water content of 12%, 7 milligrams of tar. So there is still 7 milligrams of tar in this pack of cigarettes, which is, or in each cigarette in this pack of cigarettes, which is, I'd have to say, roughly, probably 2/3 of the amount you might find in something like, let's say, a Marlboro Red. So there's still a significant amount of tar. Now, I'm noticing nowhere on this pack does it say that this is still dangerous to smoke, which it is. This is still dangerous to smoke. Smoking cigarettes is dangerous, but it's not the nicotine that kills you. It's the tar. And this still contains tar, and they're not saying anywhere on the pack that this is unsafe to smoke, which I think is really interesting, especially since they're dissing on my cigarettes on the back of the pack. Under the FDA-approved ingredients area, it just says, smoke-free keeps you smoking while you are withdrawing from nicotine addiction. Good luck, and please don't give up on your journey to become smoke-free. Well, I'm not trying to become smoke-free. I'm just looking forward to finding out how good or how bad these are. Probably bad now that I've read the spiel on the back. But, I'm not looking to quit cigarettes. Thank you very much. Moving on to this side of the packaging now, we can see we just get a Surgeon General warning on this side like you would get on a normal pack of cigarettes, amusingly enough. Just has this area right here stretching around once again, and this orange area right here kind of stretching around from the pack as well, and then just white at the top. On this side, I've got to cover up a little bit of the stuff because there's a website, and I'm not sure if YouTube would appreciate me showing it, but we can see it's pretty much the exact same format and whatnot. Orange line, green. We got the barcode down here with this little design down here, and it just says in white, Smoke-Free USA LLC. Then it just has their location and everything like that. They're apparently in Las Vegas, Nevada. Then they have a phone number if you want to call them as well, and then their website right under that. And taking a look at the top of the packaging, we can see it just says smoke-free tobacco substitute right there on a white background in black. And it says the exact same thing on the bottom as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this pack of cigarettes all opened up now. And let's go ahead and get one of the cigarettes all out of the pack. But first off, I just want to go and smell these real quick through the pack. And I'd have to say the smell I'm getting is very much that of a Coca Bean with menthol. I'm getting a Coca Bean menthol sort of smell. It's predominantly Coca Bean, I'll readily acknowledge. However, there's a little bit of menthol in there as well. Yeah, it's a very nice sort of Coca Bean chocolate sort of smell. Smells pretty good if I do say so myself. Overall, does this packaging look better without the cellophane on? Not really. It's pretty ugly packaging overall in my personal opinion. It's got a very just sort of paperboardy feel to the packaging overall, and overall pretty mediocre quality to the packaging in my personal opinion as well. Without further ado, let's go and get this pack of cigarettes all opened up. Take a look at the inside. Nothing going on up there. We can see the foil itself is just plain old just silver foil. The insert itself right here is just a normal cigarette insert as well. Let's go and see how easily this pulls out. Pulls out pretty easily. can't complain about that by any means. Let's go ahead and now get one of these cigarettes all out just like that and take a look at what these cigarettes look like, what they feel like, what they smell like, and everything like that. And we can see there is well, nothing going on in the filter. It's just a white cigarette filter with no design at all, which is a little bit disappointing because a lot of herbal cigarettes actually have a design on the filter. This one does not, which is a little bit of a shame, but that is what it is. Overall, these have a sort of dusty sort of feel to the outside of the paper. I think that's probably due to the coca bean powder dust, I guess. But overall, it's not a big deal by any means. We can see the paper itself does indeed have horizontal lines just going all the way across. The blend is a lot darker than not, in my personal opinion. You kind of think of coca beans and you think they're kind of darker than not, and this is definitely a bit darker than not. It's very much a dark, sort of dull brown, if you ask me. And just smelling this cigarette, yeah, I'd have to say it very much smells like the smell I got on the outside of the pack, which is very much that of a coca bean and slight menthol smell. Overall, quality-wise, I did take this out, and it was pre-bent just a little bit, so quality is not the greatest, or other cigarettes like that. Okay, it doesn't just appear to be this one. Maybe it was just how I grabbed it out of the pack or something like that kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. But quality just appears to be okay, in all honesty. Doesn't appear to be anything insane, but not bad quality, I will acknowledge. But I think I've pretty much covered everything I want to say about these cigarettes before I get them all lit up. And so as such, without further ado, well, let's go ahead and head outside. I'm going to see if I can do myself a little bit of a snap transition, and I will see y'all in just a moment. That was not a very good snap now, was it? Let's try it again. Alrighty, so now that I'm outside, I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get to smoking a coca bean herbal cigarette for the first time. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this pack of cigarettes all opened up. Let's go ahead and get one of these cigarettes all out of the pack. And now that I have done that, let's go and close the pack back up. Let's go ahead and get my lighter out of my pocket. Can't be forgetting it now, can I? And without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get this cigarette all lit up, and let's find out just how this cigarette actually is. I don't have particularly high expectations for it, but there's only one way to find out just how these cigarettes are, and that's to smoke them for myself. So let's go ahead and give it a shot, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Wow, these taste like crap. They don't really taste like crap per se, I guess. That's really the wrong way of putting it, but they don't taste anything like anywhere near similar, even any other herbal cigarette I've had in the past. Now the menthol, it's there, it's prominent. It's very much that of a more sour than not spearmint menthol flavor. And then under that more sour than not spearmint menthol flavor, there is a sort of mildly creamy, sort of, well, coca bean, sort of almost cocoa-y sort of flavor. And that's very much the flavor I'm getting right off the bat. I'll let y'all know if I'm noticing anything else, but that's the flavor I'm noticing right off the bat from this cigarette. Body-wise, body is pretty dang big, if I do say so myself, and pretty dang dense as well. Let's go and test it again. One other thing to mention before I do that, though. These cigarettes, for some reason, they're kind of making my tongue tingly. And when I got this cigarette lit up and I was kind of like, wow, these taste like crap, it wasn't actually the flavor I was really noticing first off. It was the fact that my tongue started tingling. And I was like, what the hell is that? Why is my tongue tingling? That's not cool, kind of thing. It's not, cigarettes aren't supposed to make my tongue tingle, kind of thing. And that's kind of what these cigarettes are doing a little bit more so than not. They don't actually taste genuinely bad, though, but they're definitely reacting with my tongue in an odd way. Yeah. Now I'd have to say, decently dense body. Pretty large body as well. Coca bean, I'd have to say, is a pretty smoky herb, from what I can tell, at least based off this experience. And I suppose I should probably grab myself a little bit of a screenshot as well, now shouldn't I? I'll admit, these are not really my thing. I'm not really a big fan of menthol, personally. The actual underlying taste under the menthol is actually not bad, by any means. It's not like the greatest flavor I've ever gotten from an herbal cigarette. Like, let's say, I smoked a cigarette that I just rolled with Calendula previously. I smoked one of those a couple years ago, and that was definitely a better flavor than this, in my personal opinion, but it's not a bad flavor by any means, I'll acknowledge. Yeah, the flavor of these cigarettes, besides the menthol, not bad. Not bad. And as I've been smoking, the flavor has developed just a little bit as well. But before I talk about that, I think I want to talk about some of the other smoking aspects of the cigarette, such as airflow. What's the airflow like? Pretty wide open. Not a closed-off airflow by any means, if you ask me. Draw is very much out of a medium draw. These cigarettes are insanely smoky, to put it lightly. They also do burn quite fast, as it said on the back of the packaging. And overall, the flavor has developed just a little bit. And I'd have to say the flavor is now very much that of a, I'm gonna have to say, well, of course, we've got the menthol on top, and so it's very much that of a sort of more sour than not spearmint menthol sort of flavor with an undertone of an herbal sort of almost bakery-like, slightly creamy coca bean-like flavor, with that creaminess giving you a little bit of vanilla as well, in my personal opinion. And that's very much what the flavor of this cigarette right here is really like. It has developed a little bit since I first got the cigarette lit up, and I'm just seeing a bird over there. Birds, they be chilling. I don't know what he's doing. It's kind of cold. He's got his winter feathers on, I think. He looks like he's vibing, though. He looks like he's a bit chilly, I think. He's just chilling. How's it going, homie? How you doing, huh? Looks like he's just looking for food right now. Roughness and smoothness-wise, I'd have to say these are actually pretty smooth. Being very much that of a... I'd have to say like a mid 2 out of 4. Roughness and smoothness-wise. We'll have to see if it gets a little bit rougher towards the end. And strength-wise, is this really doing anything to me? I feel like it might be giving me a little bit of a calming feeling sort of buzz. Nothing too much by any means. But I'm like strength-wise, I'd have to say this is probably like a 1 to 2 out of 4. It's not strong. It's not giving me a strong buzz per se. It's definitely not a tobacco buzz or a nicotine buzz. But I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a calming feeling, which can happen if you smoke herbs sometimes and whatnot. Overall, you know, it's okay. It's not quite as bad as I was kind of thinking based off the packaging and based off what they said on the back of this pack. I was kind of thinking, wow, not going to be great in all honesty. And don't get me wrong, these are certainly not the highest quality cigarettes in the world. We can see the paper itself is extremely flaky and it likes to go everywhere. That's not something I appreciate. They're definitely not the highest quality cigarettes in the world, but they don't taste bad by any means. I'm not getting any sort of a chemical taste or an additive taste, maybe a little bit of a paper taste, but not really too much. They're definitely not the best herbal cigarettes I've tried. I've tried, like, so far, Honey Rose herbal cigarettes. I've tried, like, a couple other brands as well, including, like, the Jerem Bliss and whatnot, and these are better than some and worse than others, I can definitely confirm. They're pretty mid-range. They're just okay. They'd definitely be better, in my personal opinion, if there was no menthol. Of course, I'm just not really a menthol person, so I am a little bit biased. But even with the menthol, they're not too bad by any means, and I don't really mind the smoke-free Coca-Bean herbal sticks/cigarettes. At the very end, though, definitely does get a little bit more rough. But continue smoking, no problem. Then I'm going to go ahead and just stub that out just real quick. And I think without further ado, I'm going to go put my hands in my pocket because it's quite cold out here. The reason why I started the video inside today is because it's currently about 25 degrees Fahrenheit out here. It's a little bit chilly. But I do suppose I should probably go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on these cigarettes right here. So how are these cigarettes? What do I think about these cigarettes? Do I like them? Do I not? What do I think? Well, overall, they definitely surprised me at the very beginning because my tongue started feeling a bit tingly. And that happened for a little while as I kind of got to smoking, but after a while it dissipated and that stopped happening. And after that stopped happening, I started actually appreciating the taste of the cigarettes, which, not bad by any means. Don't get me wrong, I do feel like there's a little bit of a paper taste in there, but the sort of sour spearmint menthol with the undertone of the sort of slightly creamy, vanilla-y coca bean was actually quite nice. The undertone of that was quite nice, and I really do think I would have preferred these without the menthol, in all honesty. Not a bad herbal cigarette by any means. Not the greatest quality. For sure, the paper, not the greatest quality in the world. Very ashy paper, went all over the place. Not great, I'll be frank with y'all. But, not bad tasting. Smoked okay. Didn't smoke bad by any means. And you know, they're a cigarette I didn't mind smoking. Not a cigarette I would personally smoke again, just simply because, well, it's an herbal cigarette, and if I'm going to be smoking a cigarette, unless I'm trying a new pack of herbal cigarettes, I want a buzz. But, not a bad cigarette. And, you know, if you're looking for something to help you quit tobacco cigarettes and you like menthol, I don't think these are going to be a terrible option, I will readily acknowledge. I don't think they're a bad option by any means if you like menthol cigarettes and you're looking to quit, but you still want to smoke something else kind of while you're quitting. Yeah, I don't think they're a bad option. I'm going to have to say rating-wise, I'm going to give them a 2.6, 2.7 out of 4. Definitely not as good as, like, let's say the Honey Rose Herbal Cherry cigarettes or the Honey Rose Cherry Herbal cigarettes. Definitely not as good as some other herbal cigarettes I've tried, but definitely better than, I'd have to say, oh man, what was the name of the pack? Definitely better than, oh, I can't remember. There's a pack I'm trying to think of, but I just can't remember the brand name off the top of my head. But these are definitely better than some herbal cigarettes. Let me just put it that way. Overall, I don't mind the smoke-free coca bean sticks by any means, but they're not as good as some other herbal cigarettes. I just didn't mind smoking once a day, but they're not something I would want to smoke on a routine basis by any means. 2.6, 2.7 out of 4 for these cigarettes. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of them, if you guys have tried them before, and also make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my other channels all in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?